So this week I've been playing through a game that a lot of people don't know exists, and a lot of people would look
Yes,
at.
me.
A lot of people would look at and immediately dismiss. And I'm very happy that I knew about this series before this game came out. So what is it? It's Steven Universe Unleash the Light. So this game is obviously based on the Steven Universe cartoon series, and that's the series that I've never seen. So it's interesting that I've played two of the three of the games that have RPG games have released, but never seen the series. And I think that's also honestly a testament the fact that they're able to create these standalone products. But what this game originally came out as an Apple Arcade exclusive back in 2019, and just got a console release on Switch, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So it's developed by Grumpyface Studios, who have done quite a bit of work with both Adult Swim games and Cartoon Network. So they've kind of found their niche about making really, cool games based on these cartoon properties. And they're very solid developers. Like, both of the games I've played them by them so far have just been super polished products. So I think it's really a testament to the work that they do. But this is the third in a series of games, well, what a lot of people call the Light series. So the first one was Attack the Light, which came out in 2015 on Android and iOS. Save the Light, which is the game I played in 2017, which was only on console and PC, came out Switch, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And Unleash the Light, which I'm reviewing now, which, is the third in the trilogy. So I randomly picked up Save the Light because obviously I'm an RPG nut and I have to play every RPG and get all the achievements on
Yep.
Xbox. And I'm like, okay, Save the Light. Oh, Steven Universe. Oh, that's that cartoon I've never seen. Oh, I'll give it a shot. And I love Save the Light. I thought it was fantastic. It's very similar to Paper Mario and South Park: The Stick of Truth in the style that you're running around an environment and you're, running into turn-based battles that are action-based, so you're blocking and attacking based on button timing. That's a very simple way of putting it, but hopefully it gives you an idea of that. Whereas this game is actually a bit different. So you're not running around the environment. You're essentially, the way it works is you go into a stage and it basically just you moving the screen from you going up to the next screen or across to the next screen depending on the map. And apparently that's the way that the first game in the trilogy also worked, Attack the Light, and it makes sense for mobile. When you're thinking about controls, people just swipe into the next screen, and it actually works pretty well. But this game is all about the battling. That's if you don't like turn-based battles and you're just like, oh, I'm keen to play this game, but I'll just get through the battles because I need to get through them. Don't play this game. Like 99% of it, you're in turn-based battles. Thankfully, the battle system is absolutely awesome. So it could, for some people, could still get very repetitive. But the way that the battles play out, basically, you essentially you have star points. So at the start of your turn, you'll get, let's say, the battle will start. You get 5 star points. And whatever ability you use will take 1 or 2 or 3 star points. So basically, once you've used up your star points, and you end your turn and move to the next one. But I think similar to something, maybe you could correct me, Mike, but maybe like Fallout. If you don't use all your action points or the star points, and you can choose to end your turn early and then bank them up for the next turn, so that you've got a lot more. So there's quite a bit of strategy to it, but those button timings are so critical to this game. And so it's very engaging. It's not a game where you're just going to sit there button mashing, okay, I want to just move on to the next battle. You're having to actively time every single thing in the battle. So it's very engaging from a gameplay standpoint. But enemy and character positions are super important as well, because a lot of attacks, there's almost like lanes, and a lot of attacks will attack entire lanes and things like that. Also, enemies will fly up, so there's only certain moves that will attack, flying enemies. So there's quite a bit going on, and the characters, they're all super unique. There's about 8 playable characters, all obviously characters from the Steven Universe cartoon, but they've all got very unique skill trees. They all play completely different roles, and it was hard to kind of choose between them, which is always a good problem to have in an RPG. You feel like there's so much that I could do with this. But when you're outside of battles, as I said, you're just swiping, from area to area, but you can scan the area with the right stick. So, you go, okay, I'm going to move up to next screen, left to next screen, but then I'm going to use the right stick to then select treasures and items. It works pretty well, but there are times when you just can't select the right thing, because obviously the idea was on mobile or app on iOS that you would just tap what you wanted. Whereas this, they haven't even given you a cursor. You kind of just like move the camera towards what you want it to select. So it is a little awkward, but generally it works pretty well. But yeah, so as I talked about those characters, there's the way it works with building your character. So you got those skill trees I mentioned, but unlike traditional RPG equipment, each character has what they call 3 charm slots. So they could be, let's say, Steven Universe. Steven, the character, is like, okay, one of his charms is pizza, another is video games. So you find different items that are like different versions of pizza and different versions of video games that then he can only equip. And then there's a few that maybe another character can equip. So you kind of, it's an interesting take, but it is just like, okay, I'm getting new armor, I'm getting new weapons and things. But then it's also got a badge system. And the badge system is very similar to anyone that's played Paper Mario or something like Bag Fables or something like that, where essentially they're usable by anyone, and then they're essentially equipping perks. So eventually you can equip 2 of them. So there's a lot of customization going on. But probably one of the most interesting things about this game is the structure of it. So with the previous game, Seek the Light, you essentially, as I said, it was more a traditional RPG. You're moving around the area, like you go through the town, you go through the forest, you're walking around getting stuff. This, you've kind of got this one central location that's called the Palace of Light, and then you've got all these worlds around it. And you go into a world, there's about 4 of them. They added one and an update that they carried to the console port. And when you go into each, it's split up in like 8 separate stages on a map. So this game is actually really, really good for short play sessions. So if someone wants to go, I'm just going to do one stage while I'm on this play, 1 or 2 when I'm on this train trip for like 20 minutes, it's really, really good for that. It's very pick up and play, which makes sense. It was designed as a Apple Arcade game. But when you're in those areas, you collect keys. And that central location, the Palace of Light, the idea with that is that's one big map. It kind of acts like, I don't know, have you played much Phantom Hourglass, Indigo?
Yeah, a little bit.
So if you remember, there's something called the Temple of the Ocean King in that game. And it's a place where you go back to over time and you unlock more of it. And then you unlock shortcuts within it, so it makes it
Yeah.
The Palace of Light kind of acts like that. So you get keys in the main worlds that then unlock new areas and you unlock fast travel. But each time you go back there, all the enemies reset. But your progress for things like puzzles and stuff and items that you collected don't. So the idea is that throughout the game, you'll like go back there and progressively get through that one area. And then eventually when you get all the keys and you continue the story in all the other worlds, you'll then go and fight the final boss there. So it's actually a really, really cool structure. And I think, as I said, it lends it really well to those short play sessions. This would be really, really good on a Switch for that reason specifically. And the enemies scale with you when you're there as well. So you're not just having to go through easy enemies each time. It's a chance to level your characters up because they're scaling with you. Just the other things I wanted to cover. So the story is actually pretty fun. As I said, I'm not familiar with the show, but the characters are all really, really cool. They have great personality, and you definitely don't need to have a familiarity with the show to really, get a lot out of it. There's times when you're like, oh, those 2 characters seems like they've got a history together that you don't really get, but you're not missing a lot. But obviously fans of the show would really appreciate probably what they're doing with it. And the game looks nice. It sounds pretty okay. The music's not annoying or anything. So yeah, just look, probably the last thing I'll say is that the game has a really, really positive message, and I get the impression that the cartoon does as well. So I think that, this is actually a really, really good game for kids, but it's not easy. This isn't like my baby's first RPG or anything. This game is actually can be quite challenging, but it is great for kids in the terms of the very positive messages, not only about, like working together, but also, representation and things like that. So very, very cool. Just don't let the cartoon license fool you. It's, it can be challenging. So, yeah.
I have to say, My Baby's First RPG is a great game name. It's never been used before. I like it.
Yeah, that's but yeah, honestly, also I've got to really call out Grumpyface Studios for the fact that they supported this game. So I was in the middle of playing this game, and then the game got an update with an entirely new end game mode, new characters and everything. So it's given me
In the middle of it, wow.
Well, yeah, as in I was playing a few hours in or whatever. So it's putting me in a bit of conundrum. I'll just give a final score because the conundrum is a kind of a very separate Swinny thing. I think this is really, really solid, like 6 out of 10 for me. I think it's great. I'd put the previous game, Sick the Light, at a 7 out of 10. I just prefer the ability to actually explore the environment myself, as opposed to just scanning it and moving map to map. But yeah, I think it's really, really worth a try. Just if you don't like turn-based battles, just don't play this game. Just avoid it. But my conundrum. So, this game only has a single save file, right? You can't manually save it or whatever.
Oh, whoa.
Right? The free update added endgame content, new achievements and everything. It's like, okay, cool. So I did all that. But I missed an achievement, right? That means I'm going to have to reset my whole progress to get it.
You want to, not you have to.
Means I have to get it, right?
Not have to, but you want to.
No, he has to for his list.
All right, I have to get this. I have to reset, right? But because this update just dropped, I'm like, man, if I reset my progress, and it's a game I didn't mention. The game's like 20, 25 hours. It's not a short game.
Whoa,
right?
that's way longer than I expected.
It's an
massive,
RPG, right?
Sure, but it's My Baby's First RPG.
I said it's not My Baby's First
I know,
RPG.
I'm stirring.
So I'm like, man, if I reset my progress to get this one, which is pretty early in the game, but it was missable, and if they drop another update that's all endgame content, I'm like, oh man, what do I do?
Offline.
What do I do? You can't offline. It's oh man.
Can you back up your save on a drive or something?
There's part of me but the problem is you need to be online to unlock achievements these days. So
Do you?
Yeah, you do.
Do you ever take a step back and go,
What am I doing with my life?
what am I doing with my life? Why do I even care about
Mike,
this shit?
why am I I'm asking you to got then, forget you. So I'm like,
I love his response. He just ignores it.
because that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking what do you guys think I should risk it?
Oh god.
No, you'd be crazy to. I'd wait a year.
Yeah,
or two.
I was thinking
But a whole year.
The thing is,
Who cares?
this update was already well because it's going towards my resolution. I'm like, man,
Exactly.
you know what? I was thinking I might wait 6 months, and if I haven't heard that they've updated the Apple Arcade one or anything, then might do it.
Yeah, but
All right.
maybe then they'll update it right then because it's been 6 months.
Swinny.
It's more likely they'll update it then.
I'll give you the
than it is
answer,
now.
Swinny. I'll give you the answer. The answer is put something in your diary for the 1st of December, 2021. Then basically say, have I done your shitty New Year's resolution, which is just continuing to do the same shit you already do. But anyway, parking
Shitty. At least I'm doing my resolutions unlike you do.
Oh,
Hey, I'm doing my
brutal.
resolutions. Shut up. Besides
Brutal.
the main one,
You're not
No,
doing
hey,
your resolutions. You're buying a million games.
I haven't.
Yeah, but you
No,
bought
my
Fence during the
resolution.
week.
Anyway, well, let's not
bought
get into a
Fence
fight
during the
about
week.
this. We're still talking about Steven Universe.
Let me
so-
answer. Let me answer. So put it in the 1st of December, 2021. If you've already finished your, achievement thing, then you don't need to, delete the game and start again. You can just wait until much later.
It's the Swinny struggle. It's
Okay.
like I want to complete it.
It's not a struggle.
Okay,
You're
here's-
wasting time.
Here's the way
You're
I
not even
see it.
answering-
No, hang on.
That was
Here's how
a beautiful
I see it.
answer that I said.
Oh no, I appreciate it. I'm just telling you, it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Okay, this is how I see it though. The longer you wait, the more the chance increases that there's going to be another update to the game.
The longer
is the way I
wait,
would see
the
it.
longer I wait.
Yeah,
Well, of
because
course,
there's
what
more
are you
time that
talking
they'll
about?
have.
That's
they'll-
one of the dumbest comments I've ever heard. What
Why
are
is
you
it-
saying?
I'm saying they're not gonna push another update straight away, right? Because this seems
No,
like
that's
it's
not
not
correct.
an update. So if you do it, if you play it and finish it now, you're done, right? Whereas if you're gonna leave it another 3 to 6 months, there's a good chance they're working on another update.
No, but it gets incomplete then, and so it doesn't count then.
Yeah. No, but you should definitely wait. Do you know why as well, Swinny?
Why?
Because another update might actually give you more save slots.
I have a feeling they won't do that, but
But they could.
they could, yeah.
Then you'll be ropeable.
Anyway, thanks. So just wanted to just
My answer's the correct
position
one.
that.
Wait until December. Because that's all the constraints that you have.
Yeah.
My
Otherwise, you don't care.
answer is they're probably not going to do another big update to add more stuff to
So
it.
this is from looking at what they did with Apple Arcade. This seems like the last bit of content they added there.
Yeah.
But
How much
the fact
more?
that the game just launched I didn't mention it just came out in like mid-Feb on consoles. That it could get more. Who knows? But yeah, I agree. And to go like I think waiting until the end of the year is a safe bet there. So
That's going to optimize your time.
yeah. I'll unlock it. I'll leave it to the last game and unlock it like 11:58 on
Yeah, just
December
in
the
case.
31st.
No, because then they'll release a patch at 11:59, and you're screwed. So
Can I just say, this game is so niche, it doesn't even have an article on Wikipedia.
This game is so hard to find information about the console stuff specifically. It was almost like they shadow dropped it. But these games in general, the Light series, not a lot of people know about them, and I think it's a bit of a crime. I never played the first one, but Seek the Light, I think, is really, really, really good. So
You know what? I feel like they will do another update because I'm looking through their Twitter. I can't believe this is the depths that I'm going to. Because people are asking, is it the final update? Is it the final update, right?
yeah.
And they've never described it as the final update.
Oh yeah, no, they haven't.
And
And honestly,
they
the
will have
update,
another update.
like the character they added, is the character that I used the whole game after they put it in. So really, really good update. So anyway,
I
does
think they'll-
anyone
I think they'll
remember
do
the
another
days
update.
when people just played games just because they wanted to play the game?
That's what I do.
Hmm.
I don't have any achievements.
Hey,
I
Mike,
got like
I
4,000
No, but
achievement points.
the last bunch of games you've been playing recently was because of the podcast. So even you, and same as me, we don't like the only game. Honestly, the only game I recently played that I played just because I wanted to play it was Fez.
It's-
Mike,
Everything else,
already
I feel
played.
like someone held a fucking gun to my head and made me play a game.
Mike, why do you think I waited till after I'd even given a score in the whole review to even bring that up? Is because I wanted to separate my struggle, my Swinny struggle, away from the game because it's got nothing to do with that, really.
Yeah,
but
I
it
know, I
does
know.
suck that you can't, you got to delete your entire progress just to play through again. That does suck.
Hey, don't
Yeah,
get
that's
me
stupid,
wrong.
that's
I know
stupid.
it sounds like I'm giving you crap about this, but I
Which
totally
you are.
get, which I am, but I totally get at the same time that it is. Come on, it's such a small quality of life thing. Why do they do that?
Yeah.
It would help immensely for people that are in your position to not have something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think looking through all the language, I reckon it's like a 50-50 they're going to do another update.
Yeah.
Because they would
oh,
they
really?
would
You
say,
reckon they either do it or they don't? That's so insightful. Thank you.
Okay, number one, you're an idiot.
That's
Probability.
Not how probability works, Mike.
That's not how probability works. You're like laughing at me as if I'm the dummy. You're the dummy.
No, I know how probability
You
works.
absolute
I know.
moron.
I am very well aware that their chance of winning the lottery isn't 50-50.
If
You
I
either
shoot
win it
you
or
with a
you
gun,
don't. I'm
and I go,
aware of
it's
that.
a 50-50, you're going to die. No, it's not, you idiot. There's bullets in there. It's almost 100%.
Yeah, I know that.
Freaking
I'm aware of
moron.
that. But your insight into 50-50 is not helping. At least say it's like, oh, it's 70%.
Why? I believe it's a 50-50.
Well, because it's what's the point of even saying that then?
What do you mean? What's the point?
Like, what are you basing your insights on? On what extensive research and articles have you summarized to lead you to believe it's like precisely 50-50?
Okay, I'll walk through it.
Okay,
So
let's
they
see.
released their first game in 2015. They released
Okay.
their next game in 2017. Then they released this game that Swinny just spoke about in 2019.
Okay.
This is the game that they've then subsequently re-released on PC, Steam, Switch, etc.
Yeah.
They've done 3 updates. The other
2021.
games, I looked at the other games and they did about 3 updates on those games. So there's a very good chance that this could be the last update.
Yeah, but it appears
in
that they're
everything that they
releasing
said,
games-
everything they
yeah.
said online, they've never said anything about it being final. They've never said anything about moving on to a new game or like developing a new game.
Okay.
So I think it's roughly even that they will release one
It's
final
roughly
update.
Steven.
It's roughly Steven. It's even Steven. It's even Steven.
So it's even Steven in your opinion.
Yes,
Okay, that's
yes.
great.
So that's
How is it supposed to help Swinny with his moral dilemma?
Well, I think the fact that there's a
at
material
least give
chance
him
they'll
like a
release another
51.
update.
Give him a 51.
Why are you so obsessed about it being not exactly?
I'm
50-50?
trying to help the guy, and 50-50 is not helping him.
He's felt like the last few seconds have just been us talking, and he's just been bottled up. He just wants to just fight.
It helps him a lot because it means there's a material chance they'll have an update. He definitely should wait then. He definitely should wait. At least a couple of months.
Because there's also a Stephen chance, that there won't be an update. And he should just do it now. Get it out of the way.
Because if it's endgame content that they add in, then it would take me like 15, 20 hours to build the characters back up to be worth it.
And it'll be painful.
Yeah.
It'll be so painful because you'll be like, why didn't I just wait?
Yeah.
Because I don't see them pushing an update past the end of the year.
From a philosophical perspective, you're better off regretting something you didn't do than regretting something you did do.
What?
So,
why did you couch that with from a philosophical perspective?
Well, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to put this from a non-gaming perspective. I think.
Well, this is
if
where
you narrow it down to that,
non-gaming. That's for
if
sure.
you narrowed it down to that, then the best option is to just leave it alone because at least that way you're not going to kick yourself in the.
I know, and that's what I am going to do.
If they do put an update.
That's what I am going to do.
Yeah.
But it's just it's one of those things you're like, man, that sucks. But thank you for listening, and it's cool game.
Very, very good. All right, let's wrap.